Mother of Frankenstein Volume 1. This is an escape the room kind of solitaire and or cooperative game in which you're going to solve a number of puzzles in order to advance the story. Now, I call it escape room kind of thing because we have had many games in the last couple of years in that tradition. Although this one specifically, although the mechanism is what you may know from escape room kind of box sets, the mechanism is the same, but we don't have the fiction they were trapped inside a room. What is the fiction here? Well, that Mary Shelley, the mother of Frankenstein, has prepared 3 books for her son. And those books are full of codes, full of challenges. And the idea in the fiction of the story is that that's not meant to keep him from his inheritance, but to train him, to prepare him. And we happen to have put our hands on one of these 3 books. And this is volume 1. There are 2 more that are planned. So each ideally will be one of these volumes prepared by Mary Shelley for her son. But the son didn't get to actually look at the books, but we did. So it's all about the puzzles, and because of this, I'm not going to show you a lot of what's in the box because I want to prevent spoilers, but I can show some stuff that you will see as you open the box. Most importantly, these things. These sets of pieces, I don't know how else to call them, made of some kind of foam, and you can see from the very beginning they can be assembled in what basically will amount to a decoder ring. So there are 3 such sets that will form 3 decoding rings that will be placed one around the other, and then you can do, well, what decoding rings do. And so here, for example, you see that there's one with the sign of the zodiac. So there are 3 such decoding rings, and there are 3 sets of puzzles, each coming in a specific envelope with the topics, so we each with a topic, with a discipline that Mary Shelley wanted the son to train and gain some more knowledge in. And these disciplines being music, poetry, and astronomy. So each will have a specific sets of puzzles inside. And you know from the beginning that basically the solution of all the puzzles in each envelope is the order in which you will place the segments of a decoding ring. So that for the one about astronomy, it may be Sagittarius, Aries, Pisces, Cancer, and so on and so forth. For another one, it may be Jester's hat, followed by sword, followed by shell, and so on and so forth. The solution of each set of puzzles is the structure of the corresponding decoding ring. That's original. I had never seen that before, and there is basically a level 4, which is once you have put together the rings, you have to use them. I like this idea a lot, and the production is very nice. The components look good, they feel good. These are kind of like foamy thing, but it's sturdy, it's kind of fun to manipulate. These components you will find inside the envelopes is meant to simulate 18th century handwriting, 18th century materials, letters, things like that. They just look nice and they are very evocative and very atmospheric. I like that very much. When it comes to the execution of the puzzles themselves, however, there was a problem. Say, especially with astronomy and with poetry, that was very strong. In astronomy, I expected there would be a bunch of puzzles. And by that, I mean different kind of mental challenges. I need to do this, I need to do that. However, in truth, it's just one puzzle implemented 12 times. Once you figure out what you need to do, then it becomes kind of like a road that you need to apply that several times. And the same with poetry. Once you understand the mechanism behind, that's what indicates the first segment, and that's the second. You just have to do that 12 times. Music is more convoluted, it's more like separate puzzles, and just as chance would have it, I really don't understand the first thing about music. I could not figure out the first thing, and this is the one that I most heavily relied on the clues to be able to solve them. And the clue system is very well done. You can use, you're on the website, there's a website, you scan the QR code, you can ask from your phone, that's how I did. And the clues are very molecular, meaning there's no clue that will give you a big spoiler of the whole thing. One bit here, one hint, and another one. In the aggregate, you can figure it out. And ultimately, there are the solutions inside the envelope if you really get stuck. And the box and the intro insist a lot on the idea, hey, this is not meant for you to win some sort of international puzzling competition. It's for you to have fun. You have the right to choose the level of challenge and comfort that's best for you. And so just please use the hint anytime that you want, which I did a lot with the music, which happens to be the one that I guess if you're more familiar with the codes and with the general idea, possibly is the one that it feels more like a collection of puzzles. So I like the idea a lot, and I think there are really good elements in here. When it came to the two sets of puzzles that were most interesting to me, astronomy and poetry, it wasn't really a set of puzzles. It was one puzzle, and you have to do the same thing multiple times, and so that was disappointing to me. So I felt that there was a really promising idea here, and I felt that the execution, however, at least for me, wasn't very engaging, because if I figured out how to solve the rest of the puzzle and just have to repeat and implement and execute, then it feels just like homework, sadly. This is volume 1 though. The box says that there will be a second volume in which there will be a 500-piece jigsaw puzzles to solve, a third volume in which there will be a 3D puzzle, and I love puzzles, so actually, although this one was a little bit disappointing to me, I'm excited to try the other ones, if nothing else, for, hey, puzzles, and if there are, like, puzzles within the jigsaw puzzles, like riddles and mysteries and things coded to solve after the puzzle, that to me is fun. So, Mother of Frankenstein Volume 1, I think it's a good idea overall. Personally, I did not enjoy the first volume all that much, but I'm very curious to try the next ones.